Hi, my name is Yalitza Corsino Davis, and I'm a learning specialist here at LCCC. In this video, I'm going to show you how to access Smart Thinking, our online tutoring, from your LCCC portal. As you can see, I've already logged into my LCCC portal. So if you look at the left-hand side, you'll see Launchpad, and if you scroll down, you'll see the link for Smart Thinking. This will take you to the Smart Thinking webpage that will check your computer or laptop to ensure that pop-up blockers are not enabled. Once you finish checking your computer, you can click here to continue. This will bring you to the Smart Thinking main webpage. And as you can see, my name is up here, which means I'm logged in through my LCCC account. So you have four choices. You can work with a tutor or a career coach. You can submit a question. You can submit your writing or career documents, or you can review your sessions and submissions. So I'm going to click first on review sessions and submissions. After you work with a tutor on the Smart Thinking website, it records your session and then saves it into this folder for you to be able to access it at any time. As you can see, I had worked with a tutor on cash flow statements, and it saved it for me to be able to look at it. This is especially helpful when you're taking courses like math or maybe chemistry, and you're trying to work through a problem and you want to be able to reference back when you're doing your homework. So all your sessions will be saved here. Any submissions that you send in, any questions that you ask, all of them will be saved here for you to be able to reference them. Right here, submit a question. Basically, through this tab, you'll be able to send a tutor a question, and then they'll be able to respond to you within the 24 hours. And you'll find your response in the Review My Session and submissions that we just went through. Now we're going to go into Submit My Writing and Career Documents. If you're working on an English paper, or maybe you're working on a research paper or business plan, this is a really great feature. What you're able to do is you're able to submit your paper and have it reviewed by a writing tutor, and then within a day or two, it turns back around and you'll be able to find it in that folder that I showed you earlier. So let's pretend I'm taking a business class and I'm working on a paper and I want a tutor to review it before I submit it. I finished my paper a few days earlier, and now I want somebody to look at it before the deadline, and so I can submit something that's really finished. So as you can see here, my name is there, so your name will be there to make sure that it's your information. I want the tutor to look at the grammar and documentation. It states the college, so our college, LCCC. You would then write the course level. Maybe it's a business, 211, or an English 105. So whatever the writing course is, you would put that in there, and then the title of your paper. In the bigger box here, you might want to provide maybe the prompt that your professor gave you, or some information of what your professor is looking for to give the tutor some guidance on how they should address your paper. And then you can choose a tutor that's first available. Or for my business paper, I might want to choose a tutor that specializes in business and technical writing. Usually I would recommend that you choose the first available, especially if you want it back within 2 days. Smart Thinking says that you'll have your essays within 24 hours. However, right now, with the pandemic, many colleges have moved to using online tutoring. So I would probably submit my paper a few days ahead just to make sure I get it back on time. And then you just would choose the file and then press submit, and the tutor would get your paper, review it, and then in a few days or a day, you would have it back in that folder I showed you in the beginning. So now I'm going to go to work with a tutor or a career coach. Here you have two options. You can do a drop-in session with a tutor, or you can schedule a future session. A drop-in session is you'd be able to work immediately with the tutor. So let's say that you are working on some maybe your anatomy and physiology class, you're working on some terminology or looking at the you know, bone structure or the cardiovascular system, and you have some questions and you want somebody to help you walk you through that. You would be able to get immediate help through a drop-in session. So let's say I'm doing that in biology. So I'm going to pick science and I'm going to go to biology. And this brings me to an online chat room. So I would press start, and then I'll be able to start typing my questions. And then within a few minutes, a tutor will show up and they'll start chatting back and be able to answer my questions, and we'll be able to work together through this chat system. Now, and then after our session is done, you want to go over here on the top right-hand side and end your session. So as you can see, you have a few options. You can end your session and save the question. So this will save it in your folder. But since I'm not doing that right now, I'm just going to press end the live session and exit. So let's say that you want to work with a tutor, but you want to work with a tutor that you can talk back and forth and you can see them in a virtual room. So it might be almost similar to a Zoom session or a Google Hangouts room where you can see the person and talk to them. You would want to schedule a future session. So here, what you'll see is that then it'll bring you to your choices. So do you want to work with someone on math, on science, Spanish, writing, business? So I'm going to choose writing. I want to work with someone on my paper that I have to submit for my psychology class. So I'm going to choose writing all subjects. And then I'm going to look at what's available. If you scroll down, you could see the gray boxes means that a tutor is not available at those times. And the blue teal boxes means that a tutor will be available during that time. So you can just choose a time that works for you. You can choose to work with a tutor for a half an hour, or you can choose to book 2 blocks for a total of 1 hour to work with a tutor. And then all you would do would be log in at that time, and you'll be able to work with a tutor in a live session. And when you're booking your sessions, please make sure that this right here is to Eastern Standard Time. You want to make sure that the time zone that you're working on is the same as your tutor's working at the same time zone that you're working on. You don't want them to show up at a different time and miss you, miss working with you. All right, I have answered, I think I've touched on each one of these sections. This is a really great way to get immediate tutoring. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We encourage you to use this service. And if you have any questions, you can contact educational support. We wish you success in your academics, and please stay safe.